Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual results from CGC. This video is part 7 of an 8-part video series that I'm doing focusing on a 25-book modern submission that I just got back from CGC. This submission features X-Men themed books, some of which were published decades apart from each other. And I am a big X-Men fan. So I am really excited to share these books with all of you today. Now, just so you know, I submitted these books to CGC way back in May of 2021, and I just got them back today at the end of July 2022. It took about a year and 2 months for these books to get back to me. Now, part of the reason that took so long was because these books were pressed at CCS, and that process is taking a very long time. But I love these books so much, I had to use every bit of patience that I had to not freak out about these books coming back sooner. And I'm glad that I was patient, because that paid off. And they're back here today, and I couldn't be happier about that. But let's go ahead and move forward with this video. This video is a test your comic book grading skills video. What we do is we are going to take a look at video that I made of these books when they were raw, before I sent them out to CGC. We are going to assess the books for any flaws, any damage, anything that might affect the grade negatively. Then we're going to give our best guess as to what we think the grade might be. Once we've done that, we will pull 3 books out of this box, and we will take a look at the results from CGC and see how we did. This is a lot of fun for me. I've done pretty well so far. If you've been watching all the other videos, you know that already. Let's hope that the good continues to come out of this box. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the 3 books we're going to be talking about today when they were raw. All right, first up we have X-Men 131. This is a pretty nice looking copy of this book, but you will see right away it does have damage and will not be a 9.8. Yeah, those are some minor but existing color-breaking spine ticks right there. That bottom corner looks a little more damaged than I would like, but not too bad. It's the spine ticks along the spine that are really going to keep this out of the 9.8 grade range. Now, something I've mentioned in each video is that every book in this submission did get cleaned and pressed at CCS. Oh, there are several small color-breaking spine ticks there. Keep that in mind. Some people badmouth CCS. They do all right by me. As long as you don't need special attention on the books, I think they do a pretty good job of prepping them for grading. So this book will be getting that treatment, and any kind of pressable defects will be fixed. But color-breaking spine ticks, of course, do not get fixed by any amount of cleaning and pressing. But that's a pretty good looking front, except for that, that box there where all the X-Men are, where all the color-breaking spine ticks were present. Other than that, it looked pretty good. On the back here, we're going right into this very dark ad here on the back. That almost looks like color rub, but I don't think it is. I think it's just the printing and the stars and stuff like that. So that looks pretty okay to me. That corner looks good. That edge looks good. This is one of the cleaner books, actually. But then you'll see, yes, off the staple there is a color-breaking spine tick. There's another one. This black cover, and this ad is going to give you 0 leeway when it comes to hiding those flaws. So you'll see them all there. There weren't a ton of them, but they do exist. Because there isn't a ton of problems with this book, I'm going to be fairly optimistic with a 9.4. Next up, we have the second copy of X-Men 126 that was in this submission. The first copy was in one of the previous videos. This one, to me, potentially looks slightly better than the other one at first glance. That spine is pretty good looking. There might be a little bit of a stress there, about, I don't know, half an inch from the bottom. I think the press is going to clean that up a lot. This is a book that is possibly going to benefit from the slight miswrap. That extra white there along the spine is going to help disguise any kind of spine ticks that are color breaking. You can see there are stresses there, which I do believe will take it out of a 9.8 without a doubt. Maybe a little color rub there in the E in two spaces, but nothing too major. That's a nice edge. That's a decent corner. I don't think that was a flaw, by the way, there along the edge. I think that that was in the art. But this is a pretty well-presenting copy of this book. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. The back looks pretty good at first glance as well. Doesn't look like it needs too much cleaning up. But some of those darker, they're kind of light, but they're darker, little kind of speckled areas there in the white. That's probably dirt and dust and will get fixed with the clean. Some of that roughness along the edge will get fixed in the press. That corner is angry looking. And hopefully will get helped a lot in the press. But that area in the white along the spine will clean up really nicely with the clean in the press. It's not a horrible looking back of the book. I'm giving it a 9.4. And finally, we have X-Men 134. At first glance, this book looks really pretty nice. Let's see here what we got. I don't see any color-breaking spine ticks yet. Oh, no, there are some. So there's some minor ones right there. There's some more going through there. Okay, so there's a nice little collection of color-breaking spine ticks there. That corner's not great. But then the color-breaking spine ticks, we got 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, there's a decent amount of them there. But they're really minor, and I have had many books where I've seen many minor color-breaking spine ticks, and it still gets a really nice grade. That corner looks good. That edge looks good. Looks a little bent over a little bit. That'll get helped with the press. That bottom looks good. I mean, this is a well-presenting copy of this book. Not perfect, but good looking. Let's see what's going on the back here. Yeah, this looks pretty good as well at first glance. A lot of those dark spots in the white there. If you didn't get this cleaned and pressed, that would hurt the grade a lot. But since I am getting it cleaned and pressed, that will get cleaned up significantly in the white area there and help the grade. The edge looks good. This corner looks okay. A lot of that stuff there along the spine will clean up. Along the top will clean up. This looks pretty good to me. I can't help but be optimistic about this book, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.4. All right, so you've had a chance to look at the books when they were raw. You've assessed them, and you've given your best guess as to what you think the grade might be. I have told you what I think the grade might be. In fact, I've got them written down here on this piece of paper that I made over a year ago. So let's go ahead now and see the results, see how we did, and if we guessed correctly. Now, something I've mentioned in other videos that all of you already know, I don't know what the next 3 books are that's going to be coming out of here. You know because you just saw them in the raw, but I've been working through this box from one end to the other without looking, and they're kind of in there randomly, kind of in order, kind of randomly, so I don't know what's going to be coming next, so that's pretty exciting for me. So let me just go ahead and dig in and grab the next book. Okay, so what I do is I feel what the back is. I can feel what the back is. It's, there's a little recessed area on the back at the top. And then I'm gonna keep it face down and cover up the grades, and I'm gonna show you what the next book we're talking about is, and that is X-Men 134. 31. I believe this one is key, but I forget exactly the key nature of it. I'll read the label to you in just a moment. Now, it was my guess that this book would get a 9.4. So let's go ahead and see. Was I right? I hope to at least be right or under what the actual result was. Let's see what the result is. Okay, is it 9.4 or better, or am I going to be sad? It's a 9.4. Okay, that's great. It matched my expectation perfectly, and I can't be unhappy when I got the grade that I expected. Something I like to mention in these videos is that it's really important to be able to grade accurately. It's how you protect your investment. I always like to factor in how much a book cost me raw, how much it's going to cost the grade and press, including the shipping and everything associated with it, what my total cost for the book is going to be, and I want to make sure that the value determined by the grade is going to exceed my costs. Then it's worth it to me to go ahead and grade it. So as long as I get what I expected or a higher grade, my value, my costs have been protected. So this is really, really great. And I'm happy that I got that correct in its 9.4. All right. Oh, I was going to tell you how this is key. What does the label say? Second appearance of Dazzler, her first appearance being in 130. First cover appearance of Emma Frost. So it's, I guess, a minor key as a second appearance and a first cover appearance. So it's kind of a minor key. X-Men 131. All right, let's see what the next book is. All right, face down, tag off, cover the grades. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this is X-Men 126, and no, this is not deja vu. As I mentioned in the last video, I submitted 2 copies of X-Men 126, both of which I estimated to receive a 9.4. I got the last one perfectly correct. So let's see if I also got this one correct. Did I get the 9.4, or did I do a little better or worse? Okay, you see the grade right there, and I'm gonna take a look at the grade too. A 9.6, great. That's great. So I'm happy to be off, by 1 point. Like, as I've mentioned before, grading is so subjective, especially at these higher grades, that I'm happy to even be close. And if I'm gonna be wrong, I wanna be wrong 1 grade increment below, rather than the other way around, because this way I've made sure to protect my investment. And I've mentioned in other videos, I was a little bit harsh when I graded these because I wanted to make absolutely sure I was making the right investment by sending them in. So I'm always happy when when my guess was below the actual result. But then once again, I'm also happy because I was only 1 grade increment off, and I would still consider that to be fairly accurate grading on my part. All right, moving on to the last book that we're going to be talking about in this video. Covering the grades, face down, back off. Let's see. It is X-Men 134. I believe this is the first appearance of Dark Phoenix. I'll confirm that in just a moment. So, X-Men 134, I thought was going to be a 9.4. Yeah. It looks like everything I thought that we were going to get today was going to be a 9.4. One of them I got correct. One of them I was off by 1 increment. Let's see how I did here. Did I get the 9.4? Did I do better or worse? Well, I'm always so anxious at this part after I've shown you, and I want to show myself. What did I get? 9.0. Well, that's surprising. If there's some grader notes, I'll put them up right here. Now, I wasn't so far off. I'm okay with being 2 grade increments off. It's definitely less than ideal. I want to nail the grade, and I'm okay with being 1 increment off, and I'm kind of sort of okay with being 2 grade increments off. But I'm not really stoked about being 2 grade increments off and in the wrong direction. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I'm not going to do a post-grading analysis because this book does look, I mean, it looks really good. Maybe if there are graders' notes, they will enlighten the situation a little bit. But that's a little disappointing and too bad. But it is what it is. You can't win them all. So it goes. And something else I want to mention along the lines of graders' notes is that CGC has recently made them available to all people with a CGC membership, even a free one. So you can get access to graders' notes when they're provided. Sometimes they're not. But in addition, they've started adding, and this is the first time I've seen it with this submission, these QR codes to the back, on the back, which you can use to scan them and then get access to the graders' notes. So that's disappointing, but it's not like catastrophic disappointing. I think I'll still get my value out of this book, but it is definitely disappointing. So it goes. All right, so that's all the books we're going to be looking at, and in this video, one more video to go. So if you haven't already subscribed and you want to make sure not to miss that video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. In addition, if you like this content, likes are appreciated by me, so smash that like button. As always, thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.